Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Now, for some of you, maybe the way that you memorized this was trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. But similar thing, just different language inside of that. This idea of what it means, to place your trust in God in such a way that then you acknowledge him, you invite him into every other aspect of life, and then finally with this promise, he will make your paths straight. He'll direct your paths. He'll be there inside of your day-to-day moments. Now, last week, Tina, on Mother's Day, we were talking, again, this idea about healthy things grow through the lens of Mother's Day, and she talked about, these two Hebrew words that really meant warrior helper. And inside of, this series where we're thinking about identity, we talked the first week about the fear of the Lord, and we talked about humility the second week. And, last week, really this idea of identity, and just as God is our helper, that we should be people who come alongside others. She ended with Proverbs 3, 1-4, the verses just before what we just read. And so I'm going to read those because I think it gives then a context to this life verse for many of us, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart. For they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you'll win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. So last week, as Tina was wrapping up, these verses kind of made sense to say that, as we're embodying this and teaching this and living our lives in such a way, knowing that other people are watching, build these commands into our lives because they're going to lead to years and prosperity and peace and things inside of our life. Bind them around your neck, build them into who you are. And in that then, this verse gives the way in which we could do that. So I'm going to go back and read it again. So after all of this, don't forget my teaching, bind them around your neck. They're going to lead to prosperity and peace inside of your life. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. That if you want your life to lead to the things that you hope it would lead to and result in the things that you want it to result in and to produce the things you want it to produce, it makes sense that we begin to build these things into our lives. And so this idea of healthy things grow, we could have easily just talked about, things on the surface level of, get up and do your devotional every day, spend time with your family, all these building block habits, but we want to get kind of beneath that to talk about what are the things that you want to build into your life. If you look at the people whose faith you admire and look up to, it's probably not just because they have the most verses memorized or they look the nicest on Sunday morning or they give the most money or whatever, but it's because they embody the gospel inside of their day-to-day, moment-to-moment life. To trust in the Lord, lean not on their own understanding, and that they live spirit-directed paths. They allow God to enter into the various aspects of how they're living and how they're working that out inside of their lives.